Yo, what up? It's Captain Rick Rock with Captain Rick Rock TV. And since I'm in the house today going through my little sickness trying to heal, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump on YouTube probably three times today. And you know what I'm saying? Just tell a little bit of my story instead of getting into everybody else's story or their politics or what they got going on. Let me just introduce you guys to a little bit more of me and just tell you some of my story. Um, this was the second time I went to prison. I did 10 years the first time for manslaughter. The second time I went for a firearm. Um, and I remember when I got out the first time, this police officer, white guy, he told me, he looked at me, he said, "You about to go home, huh, Manny?" I said, "Yeah, I'm about to go home, man." He said, "Let me tell you something." I looked at him. I was 27 years old at the time. He goes, "You want to stay out of jail? You want to know the secret to staying out of jail?" I said, "Yeah, what's the secret to staying out of jail?" So he looks at me and he goes, "Listen to me and listen to me carefully. If you go back to your neighborhood and hang around your friends, I guarantee you'll be back." And when he said that, I laughed. I laughed at him. I said, "Nah, man, I ain't coming back." Went back into class. We was in a PIA. We used to make socks. We used to had all these machines, cotton. And the machines made the socks. It was thread on all the machines. They made the socks. We would pack them up. It was me and my homeboy, Hack Dog, in this PIA class, right? And we used to make 15 cents an hour in this class. So anyway, I go home. I had a time of my life. I made my son, bought my first lowrider, man, had multiple chicks until I met my son's mother. And that point right there is when I fell in love, got me a job at the oil refinery, and said, you know what? I'm going to fly straight. So I, did a little rapping in jail. So I meet this barber. I meet this barber, and one of my partners introduced me to him. I knew the barber from back in the days, but I meet up with him, and my boy say, "Rick, rap that stuff you used to do off your chest." That I used to always beat on my chest, make rap songs and stuff like that. I say, "Nah, man, just put this CD in, man. I got a CD, man. Just throw the CD in." Me and my little brother used to record at the house. So anyway, he takes the CD. The next time I meet up with this guy, my buddy called me. He said, "Hey, Game heard your CD. The barber, he cuts Game hair. He wants to meet you." Now, I haven't seen Game since Compton High, since high school. He want to meet up with you and hear some of your music. Make a long story short, I go to the studio, Encore Studios, Burbank, California, where I met Mike Epps and so many celebrities. And man, it was just, can you imagine being on a prison yard rapping for years and years around some of the best? There's so many people with talent on these yards, and you actually get in the studio with all these professional rappers, right? This was during the time the LAX album was coming out. I actually got a song with him and Corrupt called All These Hoes. That's me on the third verse. Everybody said, sound like Dr. Dre. You guys go look that up. I didn't get my credits on it because another guy from Oakland, California, named Rick Rock, already had the name. So by the time that song came out, I had already got back locked up. So anyway, I'm hanging with Game. I'm smoking weed now. I'm just thinking I'm fit to be this millionaire. I say screw the job, everything, right? I go back to the oil refinery. They do a random drug test. When they do this random drug test, I knew I just smoked a few blunts up in this recording studio around all these rappers, right? So I leave the job. That's a no-no. You do not leave the job site doing a drug test random. I could have had somebody else, pee in the bottle for me and did it like that, but I wasn't hip. And at this time, this was in 2008. in 7 or 8, I was making $1,000 a week starting off on the job. So I was getting, that was a lot for somebody getting out of jail. 1,000 a week, 4,000 a month. Man, um, they fired me. The job fired me. I came back to work. They said, no, you got to go to the office, man. You left during a random. I get to the office. They serve me my papers. They say, that's automatically dirty. So I'm like, man, I messed up all this money. So what I do, go get me a sack. Get me a sack, get on the block. I'm pitching. Here come the police. Police arrest me, take me to jail. Back up in here. I only stayed out 23 months, I believe 22 or 23 months. And when I went back to jail, it seemed like I only stayed out a week. Oh my goodness, man. I go to CMC State Prison. My points had dropped. CMC West. Never seen a prison like this. From coming from level 4, 180 yard, 270 designs, level 3s. Here it is, I'm on a level 2 yard. Doors open all night. We in a dorm. This is like Disneyland right here. I'm looking at everybody. There's nobody on the yard that's gangsters. It's gangsters, but the yard is so mellow and people got so much short time. Nobody is active, really trying to, to cause any havoc because everybody want to go home. They probably a year or two, the most probably 3 years on that yard. The most. You had a couple of lifers that try to go home. Eventually, a lot of those guys did come home. My first day on the yard, man, I remember clear as day, man. It was a guy named Duke from Front Hood, man. And I let him know where I was from. He let me know I had a homeboy in one of the dorms. I had just pulled up with my bag, man. And I've never seen a cell phone during my previous time. We used to use the state phones. They didn't have cell phones at that time. So when I get on there, I'm like, hey, man, how can I use the phone, bro? Like, I need to call my folks, you know what I'm saying, let them know that I'm here and stuff like that. And he goes, hey, don't the homie from so-and-so got a phone? So when he said that, I said, they got phones up here? He said, yeah. I said, all right, cool. I said, where you at? Yeah, tell him I want to use the phone. So he said he charged 10 ducats. They used to sell ducats on the yard. I guess this is play money. They had like a little store on the yard instead of waiting for canteen every month. They had like this little shack that sold cookies, chips, Skittles, soda pops, ice cream, all this stuff on the yard. I've never seen nothing like this before, right? I'm like, what the? So the dude, I think, charged $10 or $15. So the homie from Compton, he give me the ducats to pay for the phone call. So my homeboy Chubb, we meet up, give each other the greet and stuff like that. And when I see the guy with the phone, I look at him, I size him up and down, had a little size on him. But my man, the Rick Rock just kicked in. Once I got that phone, I looked at my homeboy, I looked at that old boy, and I told him, man, get up out my mother face before I knock you to smooth out. This is my phone. You ain't getting it back. I put the whole gangsterism down on it. The dude looked at me like that, man, like this your home. Like, I'm like, I had to. Anyway, I took the phone. So I took the phone, and man, we had a ball using that cell phone, man. And I remember clear as day, man, this dude named Pooh Rider from Pacoima. He was just like me, man. Pooh Rider comes to me and he goes, "What's up, man? My name Pooh Rider. I'm from Pacoima." Let me know where he was from. We clicked right off the bat. Pooh Rider had all the dime moves. I had all the keyways, the Compton and Watts homies that was on the yard, coming from an upper yard. A lot of older homies that was there. They was basically done with the activity. Like I said, we was on a low level yard. Didn't nobody really want to turn up. This is like Disneyland. If anybody was on that yard acting turn up, that just meant that you was just a crash dummy. I wasn't a crash dummy. I just came from structure. And the structure that I came from, me seeing that it was weak on the yard like that, I had to make it comfortable with my people for when I'm there, make sure that all the homies from Compton Wise, solid soldiers, and they move like that because I'm not fit to be on no yard and it's soft like that. Well, anyway, Rest in peace, Pool Rider, man. Man, that second time in jail, man, is when I realized that this was going to be my last trip. Um, I had came to jail. I think my son's mother, she was, think, 2 months pregnant. Thank God that she didn't get rid of the baby. A lot of women, uh, they wouldn't got an abortion, knowing that somebody they just got pregnant by got incarcerated. So when I started getting them family visits and I started seeing my son run around and got to spend time with them, my mind frame started changing. And I remember to this day, man, even at that time, I remember what that police told me. If you stay away, you know what I'm saying, from these guys, you won't be back. So I try my best now to not hang out as much. I don't like to be involved with a whole lot of stuff that's going on. It's okay for me to miss a lot of events that a lot of people go to. Man, my boy Pooh Rider, man, he the one who introduced me to Wack 100. We'll talk about that another time. A lot of y'all don't like Wack, but Wack always been solid with me. I done did jobs with Game, and it had been times where Game didn't forgot to give me that money because he had to go help and get up out of there. And Wack 100 made sure that I got paid, and what I'm saying, I kept some, the work was solid. Totally different guy from then to now. I guess he's more into the content world now. But yeah, once you guys really get to know that guy, he the one introduced me to Snoop Dogg. It's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot. I'll talk about that on another video. But yeah, man, that prison stuff, man, I got a whole lot of stories, man. I haven't even really unleashed. Right now, I'm just just going off what I can remember. I could put it in more detail. Maybe next time I sit and think a little longer on some more stuff that went on in jail, man. 14 years up in that place, it's not, I wouldn't recommend nobody to go to jail, especially in today's time. You guys can stay on these streets. Don't get caught up in this social media. A lot of this social media is going to trick a lot of people out of their position because they feel like they got to prove a lot on the internet. It's crazy how you walk outside your house, you hear the sirens, you hear the helicopter, and then you go on the internet and hear the same thing. But it's nobody really breaking down the end game of this stuff, man. And there's no end game. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Catch y'all on the next one, man. We gonna get in. I got one more story I'm gonna tell, and then we gonna get to some more content, some different kind of content. I want to get into more relationship talk, so I will be bringing in a female friend, a female guest, and talk about relationships a little bit more. I want to just venture out to more things, man. I hope you guys liked the video. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed. Much love.